Okay, so today's video is going to be about wiring a basic three-way switch, and it's the three-way switch where the power comes into the first switch itself. Okay, so this is the basic diagram that we're going to follow to do our three-way switch circuit, and the thing to notice is where the power source comes in. So right now we have a power source coming in here, and it is made of 14-2 wire. And we reviewed from the previous video that 14-2 wire has a black wire, a white wire, and a ground wire. So you'll notice in this configuration we have one piece of 14-2 wire here, and then we also have a piece of 14-2 wire that goes from the second switch to the lamp holder itself. Now between the two switches, and that's critical, that between switch 1 and switch 2 we are using what we call 14-3 wire. And if you look at the 14-3 wire, it has this extra red wire. So it has the black, it has the white, it has the ground, and then it has the extra red wire that is critical and is needed in order to create a three-way switch, and it is put between these two switches. Now the switches themselves, this is a three-way switch, and if you look on one side you're going to see a black pole and a brass pole, and if you flip it over you're going to see just a single brass pole. That black pole is going to be matched up with the black pole on the other switch. Okay, and those are very different than your typical single pole switch, because this is a single pole switch which we will not be using, but just to show you in comparison in case you grab it, it has two brass on one side and it has no poles on the other side. Okay, so now we're going to actually wire the circuit. To speed things up, I have pulled my wire in 14-2 and 14-3. I've stripped at least 6 inches. I've grounded. If you look in the boxes, all the ground wiring is down in the bottom, surrounded by the ground screw. Okay, and that's something you have to do according to electrical code. So I've done all the grounding. I've actually pre-stripped the ends of the wires, and in some cases I've curled the ends, and again that's just to speed things along. So let's start from the first switch. So I'm going to grab the 3-pole switch here, and I'm going to loosen off the black terminal. And if you look at your diagram, the black terminal on the three-way switch, it picks up the black wire from the power source. So this is the identified power source coming into the first switch. So I'm going to identify the black wire, and I'm going to put it around the black terminal on the three-way switch. That way I know that I have the power actually isolated. Okay, so when you look at the diagram again, let's pick on the white wires. You'll notice they go together and there's a yellow cap. We call those morettes. So we are going to put a moret on these two. And just a quick review, we use our lineman's pliers, and you grab the tips of those wires. And then I posted this in a previous video, and you want to twist really hard to create that braided end. And then just trim a whisker off the end so the moret will start. And now we take the moret and we spin it. And again, I'm spinning clockwise, so it's important, if you notice, I spun the wires clockwise with the pliers as well. Now I turn that moret on, or that lug nut on, and I got a nice snug fit, and I'm just going to tuck those down in the box. So now I'm left with 2 wires. Okay, and again, if you go back to your switch diagram, you'll see that the red wire comes from the 14-3 wire, okay, which is left, and this black wire also comes from the 14-3 wire. So we are going to take the red wire and put it on this side of the terminals, and we're going to put the black wire on the opposite side of the terminals. And to do that, just a quick review, take needle nose pliers and you curl the ends gently. We loosen off the terminal, the brass terminal, which again is on the power side. We're going to hook on the red wire from the 14.3, snug it, and then we're going to flip over. Now we're going to take the black wire, again from the 14.3 wire, and we're going to put it on like so. And now we have one of our three-way switches wired. Okay, so now moving to the other side of the circuit, we're going to do a couple of the same things. I'm going to start, I already have, with my white, I've already twisted it together, so I'm going to twist the lug nut on there, double check, nice firm joint. I'm going to actually physically tuck it down, in out of the way, sort of my process of elimination. And now I'm going to come back to my three-way switch, and I'm going to take that black terminal, because I want to make sure I got the right wire on it, and I'm going to back that black terminal out. Now again, if you focus on our diagram, you'll notice that the black terminal on the three-way switch picks up the black wire that goes to the lamp holder, and that again is critical. So I'm going to, over my box, I'm going to isolate the black wire that goes to the lamp holder, and I'm going to put that on the black terminal of this three-way switch. That way it's out of the way, and now I'm left with two wires. And again, if you look back on your diagram, you'll notice the red wire goes to the side where the black terminal is, and the black wire coming out of the three-way goes to the opposite side. So I'll pick on the red wire again, and it's going to go on this brass terminal. And we'll snug it up. And then we're going to flip to the other side. We're going to loosen off this brass terminal. Snug that up. And that is actually a completed circuit, a completed three-way circuit. We would add a light bulb. And just to review it, we now have power that would come in here in the two wire to this switch. And I would have the option of turning the light bulb on, okay, with this switch. And then I would also on this side have the option then of turning that light bulb off. So essentially a three-way switch is controlled, or the light bulb in a three-way switch is controlled at two different spots. Typically in a house you see this at the top of your stairs, at the bottom of your stairs, in the basement where you turn the light on at the top of the stairs, but you also have the ability to turn that light on or off at the top or the bottom of the stairs.